It is a beautiful story, one of selflessness and giving back to a community. Now, Charles Strobel, a priest and founder of Room in the Inn, is doing in death what he did in life, giving back.
That's right. Today we are joined by his niece Katie and Rachel, The Room in the Inn, both part of this special book called The Kingdom of the Poor, My Journey Home. Welcome in, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's first talk about the legacy of Father Strobel. I mean, he left such a big impact on Middle Tennessee and beyond, of course. But for those that may not know a little bit of his story, give us a glimpse.
Well, he was a priest in East Nashville when he began giving out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and welcoming in the unhoused community. We now at Room in the Inn are almost 40 years in the providing that same love and hospitality, welcoming people in. We want people to belong to a community. It's now also a role model for about 35 other cities.
Awesome.
And I love that you put all of his stories into this book. He wrote it himself.
He did.
So
he dictated
explain how it came together.
He was a man of just extraordinary energy, and he was everywhere all at once for years and years. This was sort of the Charles Strobel way in the world. And then he developed Parkinson's, and it was devastating for him, in that he lost his ability to just be wherever he wanted to be, helping whoever he wanted to help all the time. And he was confined to a small space. He couldn't get out and about anymore. And so it was Rachel and my co-editor, a woman named Amy Frog, who was marvelous with him in helping him get his stories down. They were the ones who initially started this as an archiving project. You know, he had written so much throughout his life, and they helped, thought, well, you know, this would be a good thing to do. Compile all of this, help him compile all of this, give him something to think about. And instead, he began to tell these stories. It became clear to us that he wanted to write a memoir. And so that's what he did. In the last months of his life, beginning in early 2023 up until a few days before he died, he just poured these stories out, and we raced to take them down.
And publish it.
That's
wow,
right.
What a
That's
quick
right.
turnaround. We were just talking about that. I know you said this is kind of a book for the moment. Explain
Yes.
that.
You know, he believed that everybody was a good person. If he were here with you right now, the first thing he would turn to you and say is, do you know how good you are? And I think that the divisiveness in our world today, the way people will take any opportunity to lash out at somebody, whether it's via social media or even in daily encounters, this book runs completely contrary to that. He believed that we are all poor and that we're all worthy of love, and everything he did manifested that. And it even extends to, you know, some terrible things that happened in his life. His mother was murdered in 1986, and he believed in the miracle of forgiveness and extended his arms in that embrace. So that is, I think, extremely relevant to our time right now.
Wow.
They said they wrote one of the last stories the Thursday before he passed on a Sunday. What was the biggest lesson that you both took away from Father Strobel?
For me, I think that every relationship is a gift. And he believed that, the good ones, the bad ones, there's something to learn from everyone, and everyone is more than their circumstance.
I'm so glad you guys did this, and that his legacy lives on.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, all the royalties from the Kingdom of the Poor will go to the Room in the Inn. You can find this book at Piranhas, as well as independent and online booksellers nationwide.